Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. Joining us today is Mr. Angan Guha, CEO of Birlasoft. He's speaking to us a day after the company's quarterly results, where revenue rose 3% quarter on quarter, net profit jumped 23%, and even the margins expanded to 13.6 from 11.9%. Mr. Guha, welcome to BQ Prime.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Mr. Guha, first off, if I'm looking at your numbers, you're clearly the outlier here. Your larger peers have not done well. What has worked for you in this quarter, and what is the outlook for the rest of the fiscal, sir?
So, Tushar, one of the things that I had mentioned even in my last call with you is we will be focused on execution. And I think the team has really come around and done an incredible job on executing on all parameters, whether it was the revenue parameter, whether it was the margin parameter, etc. So I think the team has come around well and has done a good job in execution. Now, as far as going forward is concerned, as you know, we do not give guidance neither on revenue nor on margins. We will take one quarter at a time. So now we are focused on execution in quarter two. And hopefully, we are cautiously optimistic that the second quarter will also look as good.
Sir, I understand Birlasoft does not give a guidance, but, I'm talking from, say, for example, from the point of view of the wider industry as well. So there have been reports that there'll be longer than expected slowdown for the entire industry. There may be also a washout in revenue terms for the industry. So against that backdrop, how do you see yourself positioned?
Yeah, so Tushar, you must look at us from a very different lens because we are not a large company with billions of dollars worth of revenue. Our revenue size is roughly about $154 million a quarter. So we are relatively small. So considering our base, I feel that we can continue to show growth. Now, the question is how much quantum of growth can we show? And that is really uncertain because the uncertainty in the market continues. All I can commit to you is as a team, as a management team, we'll be focused on executing for that quarter in terms of signing deals, ramping up people, delivering revenue, and serving our clients. And that is something I will be focused on. Now, like I said, we are cautiously optimistic looking at the immediate quarter, but the long term still remains quite uncertain.
So you're not seeing any stretchy deal making? Are there any delays in deal making that you are witnessing?
We are, Tushar. If you really look at our results, in the 3Q of last year, we actually delivered about $231 million worth of signings. 4Q was an even better quarter. We delivered $286 million worth of signings. In our first quarter, the current quarter that just ended, our actually deal signings were down. It is down to 145 million. Now, the reason for that is delayed decision making. We've not lost any deals. The deals have just got pushed out. But our funnel is continuing to improve, which is why there is a little bit of optimism, at least for the immediate quarter, which is Q2. But the longer term situation still remains a little uncertain.
All right. In comparison to your larger IT peers, you have witnessed growth in BFSI as well as the manufacturing segments, as well as data analytics and cloud. So some of these are essential, some of these are discretionary. So are you witnessing demand in both the spheres? Because somebody said, like we have had a conversation so far in the quarter, that discretionary is going away, but the essential is staying, but is long term. What is your view on that, sir?
And I agree with that, Tushar. So what is happening is discretionary spends are really getting tighter and tighter as you go forward. But to keep the lights on, which is essentially deals which help cut cost for our clients, those deals are on the table, though the decision making is taking time. The reason I mentioned about the size is because from a pure play statistical point of view, we are a small company. So from that perspective, the kind of clients that we work with, a little bit of movement can really add a lot of revenue from our standpoint. So I don't see the macroeconomic environment affecting us as much as it affects the large companies. But like I said, we will have to take one quarter at a time. And we can't really give a longer term view because things are changing so quickly out there.
Got it, sir. Another place where you actually have differed from your other IT companies is the hiring plans. So you have added a net of 12,000 plus employees in the quarter, and your attrition has eased to 18.8%. So is it still to do with the execution that you're seeing? Because others, the headcount has reduced quarter on quarter for about 2 quarters now, but you are increasing your headcount.
Yes, Tushar, you're absolutely correct. That's a part of our focused execution strategy that we have put in place. So we've added people in the first quarter. We hope to add people even in the second quarter in terms of not only people, but the volume of business. So we are seeing a little bit of an uptake, and which is why I keep saying that we will take one quarter at a time. And at least for the immediate quarter, we are cautiously optimistic of our performance.
All right. Finally, you have a new generative AI center of excellence with Microsoft. Take us through that, what is happening and what Birlasoft is doing in terms of AI and how it affects margins or revenue going ahead.
Yeah, excellent question, Tushar. So look, we are very proud of our partnership with Microsoft. We have just created a center of excellence. And to my mind, and Tushar, I'm sure you remember our discussion earlier on this topic as well, the AI will create a lot of capability for us from a customer perspective. As we speak today, we are working with at least 10 clients on use cases where we are participating in our clients' AI journey, and we are incredibly proud about that. But what we will also do is we will use generative AI even internally within our organization to cut cost and up our margins. Now, these are early days, as you can imagine, Tushar, and we are just getting started, but we are incredibly excited about the partnership.
All right. You mentioned about 10 clients coming in. So where do you see these clients? What sectors do these clients operate in? If you can give us some feel on that.
Actually, it's interesting because we are seeing clients coming up in all sectors, whether it's healthcare,
Okay.
manufacturing, BFSI, energy utilities, the four sectors that we are focused on. We are seeing
Mhm.
clients come up with use cases and working with us in all four sectors.
Okay. So you expect an across the board adoption of AI, not just focus on, say, a BFSI or a manufacturing.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Guha. It was a great chat with you today. Congratulations on the results. It's actually quite an outlier. Thank you so much, viewers, for tuning in. This is Tushar for BQ Prime.
Thank you.